Boom, and we're live again, another live, and we're happy about it. So yeah, as we were saying, back to the books. Richard Branson, love Richard Branson, and recently meeting a very successful entrepreneur. He said to me he reads autobiographies because if you want to sit down with Richard Branson, if you want to sit down with Alan Sugar, Donald Trump, if you want to sit down with all these kind of entrepreneurs, it's going to cost you thousands. And this really wealthy millionaire, he said to me, I read autobiographies because it saves me thousands because I still get to talk to them in a way that I get their past, I get their experiences, I get what they have done, what they failed at, and it don't cost me thousands for the mentorship. And that really resonated with me. I was like, wow, I should read more autobiographies.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree. You could actually, what you described, you time collapse, right? Because you get all of their experience, their years of experience, everything they learned, and all the mistakes they made. And
Yes.
you don't have to make the same mistakes by just paying what, $10, $15 for a book that you could read in a few hours. So you, instead of taking 10 years to do all the things that they did, you get that in a few hours and you get to extract the golden nuggets and then apply it moving forward. So I love that, dude. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I love that what that guy said to me, the millionaire. I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. Why did I not think of it before? Um, but so yeah, let's talk about you. I see you're always around books. Again, in your background behind you, you've got books, and you're an expert on is it ketos and fasting?
Yeah, yeah, totally. An expert in the keto diet and also intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting is my jam for sure.
So you're obviously a PT, personal trainer.
Yeah, well, I'm a personal trainer. I guess I still have some clients, but I would say that I'm primarily a health educator. I give a lot of lectures. I do write a lot of books for health. But yeah, definitely in the fitness scene. And you are, I can tell that you work out because you look like you're pretty strong there as well. So yeah, I used to own a gym here in Miami, a CrossFit gym that I actually just sold a month ago, and now I'm doing more online stuff. But yeah, my favorite thing to talk about is intermittent fasting and the keto diet for sure.
See, ketos, I never really understand the ketos. Intermittent fasting, I love Terry Crews. He's a big on that. So once a lot of people seen he talked about it, they kind of jumped on the bandwagon because it's a big famous person who spoke about intermittent fasting. So everybody jumps on. Uh,
Yes.
what would you say is best? The ketos, the intermittent fasting. If somebody wanted to lose weight, which most people do, what would you say is best?
In terms of like either or those two versus other things.
Yeah, either or would be a good one because obviously a lot of people they kind of go with whatever the celebrity says.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It kind of validates what they should do, right?
Yeah.
Well, I would say even before anybody begins intermittent fasting is that they should adopt a ketogenic type of diet because if not, they're just going to start fasting and they're going to feel miserable because they just haven't developed that metabolic machinery yet. So number one is for sure adopt more of a keto friendly diet, meaning more healthy fats, less carbs. Do that for maybe 14, 21 days. It'll teach your body to keep insulin low, then you'll be ready to fast. And a good test to see if you are ready to fast is to skip a meal and to see how you feel. If you skip lunch and you just can't focus, you're going to punch somebody in the face, you can't think, you are not ready to fast yet. You are still metabolically broken. So you need to do a little bit of more work before you begin fasting. But I would say, to answer your question, they go hand in hand. And they are the most powerful tools for fat loss because when you develop that metabolic machinery, you're teaching your body to feed not off of food that you're putting in your mouth, but feed off of your body fat. And you just slim down, you melt down, and it's the way that we were designed to be.
So, I mean, you explained it nicely, and I think so many people jump on the bandwagon, but then they give up so quick. And it's the same with kind of fad diets, like Herbalife, Juice Plus, all these quick fad diets. As soon as something doesn't work, people give up. So, what would be your advice on people to stick to it? How would they stick to something they've chosen, whether it's fasting, a Herbalife, anything? How could they stick to it, get better results?
Yeah, that's a great question because I see it all the time. I would say number one is that the number on the scale should not be your number one determining factor whether it's working or not. It should be part of it, and you should probably weigh yourself at the beginning of a program, get some body fat measurements done, get some blood work done. If you could do that, that's a good trifecta right there. And then go into your protocol, a trusted protocol that doesn't focus just on weight loss, but they focus on getting healthy to lose weight. That's the right way to go about it. And trust the system, trust the process. Give it at least 6 good weeks of you putting in the work and being disciplined. And then look on this, check the scale, check your blood work, check the measurements again, and then you could compare. That's a fair assessment. But just going 2 weeks and you're just like, oh, I can't focus. I'm hungry all the time, and my scale is going up and down. Like, that's not a good way to go about it, and that's just going to set you up for starting things and then stopping things.
That's a very fair point. That's good insight. There's a guy online. His name's James Smith. You've probably seen him. He's usually in Australia, and he's big on calories and calorie deficit. Have you seen some of his videos?
No, I haven't. And
he's from the UK. He swears a lot, but he's big on just calories. He just wants to tell people, you move more and you eat less. That's it. That's all you need to get into shape. That's all you need for fat loss. That's all you need to shape up. Some of his stuff's very controversial. Like, he'll say sugar's not addictive. He'll say you're fat because you're lazy. He'll say, a lot of his stuff really gets people angry. Would you say he's got a point when he says calorie deficit is the best way to lose weight?
I would say that if you follow the approach of cutting calories and exercising more, it has a 99.9% failure rate. So I would say what he's promoting is the complete opposite of what I teach, because, just look at, first of all, my t-shirt on the back of my shirt says stop counting calories, because this is a perfect subject right now. It literally says stop counting calories. That's the shirt that I wear, because I see a lot of people promote that, and it just sets you up for short-term success and long-term failure every single time, because the human body doesn't have any mechanisms or receptors to count calories. It just doesn't do it. And we're not a calculator. We're not a bank account. So I don't know why we still count them. We are a complex chemistry lab. And I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say I have 1,000 calories of brownies. Yep. And I have 1,000 calories of a kale salad with salmon, right? And I give one person the 1,000 calories of brownies every single day, day in, day out for 2 weeks. I give another person same 1,000 calories, kale salad with salmon every single day, day in, day out for 2 weeks. The person with the brownies is going to gain weight, have hormonal issues and energy fluctuations. The person with the kale salad and salmon is going to lose weight, going to have better energy and better hormones. Same 1,000 calories, completely different hormonal response. So going that route just sets somebody up for long-term failure. Yeah, it'll work short-term, and they'll feel good. And then the body starts to figure it out. The metabolism starts to slow down, and then you're cold and angry all the time, and you're just like, why am I losing weight and gaining weight and being on this yo-yo dieting BS pyramid thing? So I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's the wrong way to do things long term.
Yeah, I've heard that a few times about counting calories. It's the same kind of negative mindset of always looking at the scale, always weighing yourself. So many people, they'll put on some muscle mass, but they'll think that the muscle mass is actually fat. So then they start training more, training different, and they're like, oh, no, I've got fatter. Which, again, kind of relates to the calories, because obviously you're always looking at numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you said, when you are working out and going through a program to help you lose weight, the muscle is going to weigh more than fat. So even though your appearance is going to slim down, which is a non-scale victory, right? The way your clothes fit, having more energy. These are non-scale victories that you should pay attention to. But if you go on the scale, you might actually weigh a pound or two more, and then you're going to think that the program's not working. But putting on lean muscle mass, you're looking slimmer and you're feeling better. That's what's most important, not the number on the scale.
So you'd say one of the best ways to kind of judge how your training's going, how your eating's going, is keep looking in the mirror and maybe measure yourself, like with a tape measure, maybe around your waist and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could do that. You could, if you have a measuring stick, you could weigh yourself, or you could use a something called an in-body machine, where you just stand on the machine, you hold the handles, and it'll give you your exact body fat percentage and where you're distributing your weight. I don't know if they have it in the UK. They have it here in the US. They might have something similar. So yeah, getting your total body fat percentage, lean muscle mass and total weight, and then maybe doing some blood work done looking at different markers, that's a really great way to go about it.
Here's a tricky one that everybody kind of argues about. For fat loss, kind of weight loss, is it weights or cardio?
Yeah. It's definitely weights, dude. It's definitely lifting weights. You could, if you did a 2-hour run outside, right? 2-hour run, you burn whatever calories, 1,500 calories. You're gonna feel good. If you did a 20-minute high intensity workout with weights, that's much, much better than that 2 hours of jogging or running or whatever you're doing. Because number one, when you're lifting weights and picking them up, putting them down, whatever you're doing, you're building lean muscle mass. And when you build lean muscle mass, you increase your metabolic rate, and you have what's called the afterburn effect, right? So you bring in the intensity, you lift the weights. When your workout is done, your metabolism is elevated for up to 36 hours after the workout's done, meaning you're sitting on your ass and you're watching TV and you're still burning more calories. If you did a 2-hour run, you burn those whatever calories, but then as soon as you're done, your metabolism goes back down to baseline. You don't get the afterburn effect. So I would say mostly you should do a lot of weightlifting, compound movement, like squats are the best movement that anybody can do. And yeah, cardio has its place, you just don't want that to be the bulk of your routine.
When I was training a lot, and a lot of people wanted me to be their PT, and I was helping people out with diets and stuff, and a lot of people would come to me and be like, yeah, I'm doing so much cardio. I'm like, bro, what? You're in the gym for 2 hours doing just cardio, but I sweated this much. Like, yeah, sweat is good. It shows that you're doing something, but you can do, a prime example is, do you know the show SAS, Who Dares Wins?
No.
It's like our version of the Marines over here, but they've made like a show about it. So they get like normal people on the show and they kind of push their limits.
Okay, got it.
And I went for an audition for that, and I had to do a fitness test. Now, I love weights. I could throw some big weights about. I could do nice bench presses. I could do, deadlifts. And I did a 20-minute workout with these guys, and I was gone. I was sweating. I was tired. My arms were aching. It was 20 minutes. There was hardly any weights at all. And it was push-ups. It was, holding jerry cans, big jerry cans, and walking. And I was thinking to myself, that kind of mindset. You need to be in the gym for 2 hours. You need to do cardio for an hour and a half. You need to sweat so much. It's all BS in the end, because these guys are the Marines, the SAS, the Army. They are all ripped, but they can do it in a short period of time. So I think a lot of the stuff that people are usually taught or given is a load of BS. Like, go to the gym for 2-3 hours. Like 20 minutes, half an hour, and you could still pump yourself up good. So if it was going to come to the 20-minute, half an hour workout, would you say HIIT workout's good? Or what would you say if somebody said, I've got no time? What would you say for them to do the maximum amount of damage to their body in a good way?
Well, I would say number one is that it's not that you don't have time, it's that you don't want to prioritize time, right? So that would be the right way to word it. So I don't want to prioritize time because I have other things that I'm prioritizing. Number one, let's get that out of the way. Number two is I will tell that person, do 15 minutes of squats and deadlifts one day. And then the final 15 minutes, do sprints where you sprint all out for 10 seconds and then rest for 45 seconds. Do like 10 rounds of that. That'll be a 20-25 minute workout. You're in and out, and that's much better than spending 2 hours on a treadmill or an elliptical machine. And then do the same thing the next day, but instead of the back squats and deadlift, do some push-ups, do some lunges, do some shoulder press. I mean, stick with the compound movements. Just put your phone away, put the distractions away, get in there, put in the work, bring the intensity, and get out in 20 minutes, and you're good.
That's very true. The compounding movements that people don't really understand. I mean, some of the stuff that I've done in the gym is just really mixing up. Like if I'm doing a chest press with the dumbbells, everybody goes like that, like just normal chest press with dumbbells. Sometimes I twist it in like that, then do a fly, then back in, and then do a chest, and then do a fly. And people will look at me like, what is he doing? You're not supposed to do it like that. And it's all about mixing it up. So do you think shocking the body is one of the best things people can do?
Yeah, I mean, I love that concept. I learned that when I did P90X like 10 years ago. I used to be obese. I weighed 80 pounds heavier than I weigh today, and I started with P90X 10 years ago, and I went through this entire transformation, and that was their concept, shocking the body, and it works because you're not doing the same old thing every day in and day out. You're changing it up, like you said. Instead of just doing this up and down every day or every time you do bench press, you do different movements, so you activate different muscle fibers and different things going on. So I'm a big fan of changing things up and confusing the body. Yeah.
That's good. It's good to know that I'm doing something right. The expert.
Yeah, you're doing
so
great, bro.
The books that you wrote.
Yeah.
What books are they? What are they all?
So I have this one just came out 2 weeks ago. It's called The Power of Sleep.
Nice.
And it's all about sleep, how you can fix your sleep forever. I believe that before anybody changes their diet, before anybody goes to the gym or gets a gym membership, before they even do that, they need to fix their sleep. This is more important than diet and exercise combined.
Wow.
So I wrote a book all about how to fix your sleep. If you have trouble winding down at night, I talk about that. If you have trouble staying asleep, I talk about that. If you have trouble waking up and you keep hitting the snooze button, I talk about that. So this book just came out a couple weeks ago, hit #1. This is my first book, came out last year. It's all about just basic principles to achieving perfect health. And then I have a book about fasting, but the paperback is not available yet. So yeah, I have those 3 babies.
I like the sleep idea one because a lot of people they overvalue the lay-ins, they overvalue kind of laziness. Sleep, like, bro, what do you mean you needed that? You needed that every day, every weekend. How much time is a good time to sleep?
Yeah, there's no one set number, but the time frame from what I've studied is at least 7 hours. Nobody, not one person on planet Earth could operate at a high level if they get less than 7 hours of sleep. So I would say 7 to 9 hours is the range, but you kind of have to figure out what's the best for you. For me, it's about 7.5 hours to 8 hours. If I get that, I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. That's interesting as well because I think I've seen some entrepreneurs online and I've connected with a few people and they'll say, yeah, that's great. I can work on 5 hours sleep. And I always think that must be quite damaging to obviously not getting the right sleeping, not only for your body, but for your mind.
Yeah, totally. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Actually, it does make sense to me because I used to be one of those entrepreneurs who used to say, sleep when I'm dead. I'm a hustler. I got to get that work in. Screw sleep. Sleep is for the weak, blah, blah, blah. And then I started studying that. Oh, wow. If I prioritize 7 hours of quality sleep, I could crush it at a high level the rest of the day when I'm waking up, as opposed to sacrificing 2 hours of sleep and then functioning at a subpar level for more hours. It didn't make sense to me when I understood it. So like you said, it does age you fast. And I wrote all about it in my book. If you want to age faster, if you want to shorten your lifespan, then be chronically deprived of sleep and you're going to get there.
See, I'm reading this one now.
Oh, nice. I have that right here somewhere. Yeah, I have it right back here.
It's a big book.
Yeah.
But I find this full of value. And funny enough, I was last night reading about sleep.
Oh, look at that. The universe knew.
Yeah, that's it. That's the law of the attraction kind of working for us there. Yeah, I was just reading about sleep because I was in bed. I was like, because this book you can open anywhere, really,
Yes.
which is a great book and it's full of value. Tim Ferriss. But yeah, I was reading about sleep and they were saying one of the good things about getting a good night's sleep is decompression or depression of your spine, stretching out. Have you ever tried to do that?
Yeah, I haven't studied that. Are you talking about your spine compression? What did you say?
It's the decompression of the spine. It was
decompression of the spine.
Yeah, I think it's one where you hang upside down as well. Which
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I have never tried that, dude. I know one of my health mentors, Ben Greenfield, who's in Washington State, does that, and I see it on his Instagram story. That's definitely a cool hack that I want to try out, though.
Yeah, and there was a couple other get to sleep quicker, some funny moves, and I thought to myself, if I'm going to hang upside down, if I'm going to do some really hard stretching yoga and then try and go to sleep, I'm going to be ready to start my workout or get up, and if you do it maybe an hour before bed, it works a bit better.
Yeah, I mean it depends. It depends on how intense it is. Like if it's gonna really get your heart rate up, you don't wanna do that before bed. But if it's gonna be more of like just a moderate to low intensity, should be okay. Should be okay. I put a lot of hacks in my book about how to wind down and get to bed. I'll give you a couple right now. Is the bedroom that you're sleeping in, make sure it's cold. 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is over there. 60 degrees Fahrenheit to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Um, Making your room as dark as possible. Taking a warm to hot shower an hour before bed. Um, Drinking something called banana tea. Have you heard of banana tea?
No, what's that one?
So banana tea is when you just get a whole banana and you leave the peel on, and you just cut off the ends, make sure it's organic. And it turns out the peel of the banana has more magnesium, more potassium, and more of these micronutrients than the actual banana itself. So you put that in a pot, put water in the pot, let it boil for 5 minutes, and all of those micronutrients are going to seep into the water as it boils. Then you pour the water into a cup, and you drink it, discard the banana, and I'm telling you, it's like nature's NyQuil. Puts you nice in this relaxed state, shuts down your brain, and gets you ready for bed.
Wow, and you that's crazy because I always thought that bananas give you that energy, but like you say, the nutrients just come out into your nice tea.
Yeah, and you're not even eating the banana, so you don't get any of the sugar, any of that stuff. So you get all the potassium and the magnesium, which is a relaxer, and then you just discard the banana or put it in your freezer and just have it a different day.
I need to get me some bananas tomorrow.
Yeah, dude. Make sure they're organic though, because you don't want pesticides seeping into the water.
Smart, smart. None of those GMO stuff.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want to grow an extra arm or something like that.
um, the another remedy was in here was something about getting some poppy extract, which I kind of related to. There's poppies have got opium in, which are related to hardcore drugs, which I thought was a bit strange. So I think that the banana idea is a lot better than the kind of the opium.
Yeah, I think you should try the banana before you go that route.
Definitely. So your top tip before bed is have the banana tea, which is obviously boiling banana with the skin. Get in the 7 hours plus 7 to 9 hours.
Yeah.
And this good sleep and this good routine. How about waking up?
Yeah, I think it's important not to be woken up from like an alarm clock. Ooh. Because when you get jolted out of bed by your alarm on your phone, you're just in constant fight or flight for the rest of the day, and you are being owned by the day. So what I do is I use something called a sun simulation lamp. A sun simulation lamp kind of looks like a giant light bulb. And what I do is, let's say I want to wake up at 6:30 a.m. I'll set it at 6:30 a.m. Then I'll keep it next to my bed. And my room is completely dark because I have blackout curtains, so I don't get any sun. So what happens is around 6 a.m. the lamp starts to light up, kind of like the sun is rising into my room, and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter every few minutes, and it plays like birds chirping. And then by 6:30, I'm awake from the lamp and the birds chirping. So you're kind of simulating waking up in nature. So I do that. I wake up, and then I'm in control of my day. I'm not just in that constant fight or flight. I get to think about how I want my day to go, practice gratitude, write down my goals, and just own the morning and own my day. So I would say definitely get a sun simulation lamp. It's like $100 on Amazon, and try not to use your alarm. You might have it as a backup plan, maybe 10 minutes later in case you don't wake up. But your body will get used to it. I used to have my phone as a backup plan, but then I got used to it. I don't even set my phone alarm.
That's interesting. I've never heard that one before. That's very interesting.
Yeah, check it out, dude. I love it. It's one of my favorite hacks. I've been using it for 2 years now.
And you find that obviously a lot better because you would have gave up on the.
Yeah, exactly. And before I was hitting the snooze button all the time, and that's something I get from my clients is that they're always hitting the snooze button. And that's one of the worst things we can do because although it feels really good to be like F you to your phone and then you just get 15 minutes of sleep or whatever it is, you are actually, your cognitive decline is up to 4 hours. So 4 hours following that, hitting the snooze button and waking up, you have cognitive decline, meaning you're not as productive as you could be. It lasts up to 4 hours. And this is what Mel Robbins talks about in her book, The 5-Second Rule. And studies show it. It's not just made up. So you have 4 hours of not being on top of your game by just hitting the snooze button and getting 15 minutes of sleep. So I would say stop hitting snooze. Slap yourself if you have to. Have your partner slap you or something like that. Just get out of bed for sure.
Wow. That Mel Robbins, yeah, she's. I mean, I spoke to Jarek Robbins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to Jarek Robbins. He's full of some knowledge.
Yeah, I would imagine. She's really smart. Her book is incredible too.
See, that's another book I need to put on my list.
Yeah, you'll love it.
So where can we get your books?
Yeah, they're all on Amazon. All three of them are on Amazon.com. So just type in my name, Ben Azadi, and then you'll see my 3 books. I'm also working on a program that I'm actually launching in 2 days on Wednesday. It's called the Shred Fat Mastermind. So it's a way for you to get health coaching from me. I'm going to teach everybody in this group everything I know. So for the last 10 years, Patrick, I've been studying 3 hours every day on average. Last 10 years. Health, fitness, self-development. I'm studying all day long. So what I've done is I've curated all that information and I put it in these protocols and with my health coaching. And anybody who's a part of this mastermind, they're going to get health coaching from me. They're going to get all my protocols, all my information. They're going to be a part of this exclusive club. We're also doing a book club where we're dissecting books that have changed my life. So this is actually launching in 2 days. So if you're interested in that, it's shredfatmastermind.com. You can learn more about me. And I would love to work with anybody watching this for sure.
Yeah, definitely. What I'll do is when you have launched it, then I'll share it on my page. I'll share it in these comments as well. What we'll do is you'll share your book as well because people need to get these books. I need to look at this sleep one as well. That's a real big interest for me.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I appreciate your videos, man. I've seen some of your videos and I was like, well, I need to connect to this guy. He's got it up here and he's got it on his body, his mental and body. And that's why I wanted to jump on this live and share more of you here in the UK. Because it's clear that you're not only self-developing your mind, you're self-developing your body and you're sharing it with people.
I appreciate that very much, dude. And I want to acknowledge you because you're doing the same. You know, you're spreading the message. You're doing whatever it takes. It's past 9 p.m. for you. For me, it's still the afternoon. So you don't come up with excuses. You make it happen. You're unstoppable. And I love all the things you're up to as well. So thank you for the acknowledgement. And I acknowledge you right back, dude. Let's continue to create and to share. It's our obligation to share this information because there's a lot of people out there who are asleep with their health and their mentality. They need to be woken up, dude. So keep doing what you're doing. Let's keep waking them up.
Thank you very much. I think we'll stop the live there. What I'll do is I'll catch some links off you straight after this, and then I'll put them back in the live comments underneath. And then I can put them up with the YouTube when the YouTube's up, when this video is up on YouTube. And please keep me up to date with anything more that you do, all your books, all your courses, and I'll keep sharing, bro.
Thank you, bro. Right on. I'll do the same for you, Patrick.
Thank you very much for jumping on.
Thank you, brother. Have a great night. Get some sleep.
I will do. Thank you.
See ya.